What's going on, Nation? I'm here once again with my good friend Jack Cassio. If you guys haven't checked him out, check out his YouTube link right here. What we're gonna do today is talk to you about how to sprint properly. According to Jack, who trains pro and elite athletes, there's many things to keep in mind when trying to do a sprint to make sure you're getting as much speed as possible out of your body. So, Jack, let's talk a little about what we should be doing, why it's important, and then how you relate all this stuff to your athletes that you train.
Okay, thank you. Basically, speed is extremely important in regardless of whatever sport you play, you need to have speed. If you're a tennis player, you need to be able to move laterally quick, you need to be able to change directions. Now, a lot of guys, a lot of football players, a lot of baseball players, even track guys, perfect example, you guys are competing to be fast, especially when you start going to combine showcases. And a big thing, I have a lot of professional scout friends who are scouts for different NFL teams, different major league teams. And the biggest thing they look for right away is how fast you are.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of guys have more speed than they really know they have. Their legs are strong enough to run a certain time, but their arms aren't doing the right thing. So we're gonna go over exactly what your arms should be doing. Now, I'm gonna give you a quick story. Back in high school, when I was running, I was always a pretty fast kid. Coaches would literally stop after I'd run, and they'd all come over to me and ask me who I was. They'd go, oh, who's this kid? He's fast. They want to know who the fast guys are. They want to know who the athletes are. So that's how I work with my guys. I make them those wow athletes. Like, they're gonna turn heads. Like, I can't believe you just did that.
It's like you can teach a guy to catch the ball, but teach him to be fast is the hard part.
Exactly. So I'm gonna take him through a couple different things just to make sure his arms are in the right place, because your arms are extremely important. Now, the first thing that I look for in an athlete, if you're running and you're sprinting and your shoulders are turning like this, they're going east and west, you're losing out on distance in each stride. So if I'm coming here, my shoulders are turning like this, my stride's not as long as if I'm coming forward, going north and south. So when you're running, it's downhill, going north and south, everything's going straight. As soon as you start turning, your strides are gonna get shorter. So what I'm gonna have him do, he's just gonna pump his arms. You can start pumping them.
I'm gonna pump my arms, Nation.
He's gonna pump his arms, it's nice and easy.
Now, you told me earlier to keep my hands extended like this.
Yes.
When I was growing up in like cross country, they always said to keep your hands relaxed. So does it really matter?
Relax. There's actually a lot of different philosophies on it, but as long as you're not tense, as long as you're not squeezing, you don't want to tense up. When you run, you want to be effortless. Everything just flows nice and easy. If you look at the best sprinters like Usain Bolt and elite level sprinters, when they're running, it's like they're gliding, like gazelles, they're just going. So you don't see guys like squeezing their face or squeezing their hands just like that. So what I'm gonna look for right now is he's gonna have nice and easy, and I'm gonna make sure that his hands aren't coming too low. A lot of sprinters you'll notice will do this. They'll run like that, and that shit, like, if you can figure out how to keep your hands like this, if you can start practicing that and perfect that, you're gonna drop tenths off your times right away. So a good way is you can pull your pocket out. He doesn't have pockets.
No pockets.
If you pull your pocket out, you should not be coming below your pocket. Some people will say from the hip to the pocket is exactly where you want your hands while you're sprinting, just like this.
And a lot of people, once they start going really fast, they just
they'll start coming back like this. So it's one of those things you have to progressively get back up. Doing it in front of a mirror usually helps. If you just sit there and you pump your arms in front of a mirror. Now, a good way to test it is I'm gonna have you take a seat.
Okay.
You take a seat.
I'm gonna take a seat.
So he's gonna sit, and what I'll have an athlete do is I'll actually have them close their eyes, because if you see the ground there, you're gonna be more geared to trying to keep your hands up. So he's gonna close his eyes, he's gonna pump his arms just like he's running, and he's gotta make sure his hands don't hit the ground. So this is a good way to test and get a good feel for how your hands should feel while you sprint. And this in itself will shave off tenths on your times. If you're a 100-meter guy, if you run the 40, if you're a football player, if you run the 60, if you're a baseball player, this is the type of stuff you need to work on to fine-tune little things, and you're gonna become that explosive, that fast athlete that turns all the scouts' heads.
And I've noticed too, even because I do running, I do like a 4-mile jog to do around town, and there's parts where I do a sprint from like a stoplight to a stoplight, and I've noticed days where I was so much faster. And now that you've been telling me this stuff, I'm starting to think back of where my hands were when I was doing those sprints, if they were tighter, you know what I mean?
It'll help your stride length, and stride length is everything, especially when you're going a long distance. If you think about how many strides it takes to run 4 miles or even to run a 100-meter sprint, that's a lot of strides. If you can open up that stride an inch or two just by changing your hand placement, you're gonna be able to...
Maybe it was one of those days when it was colder out. Because I don't run in a tank top, even if it's like 30 degrees. So it was more of me just trying to stay warm and tight. And
just showing off the goods.
But no, I definitely have noticed myself run faster times, so now I'm definitely gonna try this out.
Yeah.
So that's it. I mean, how to sprint Obviously, there's mechanics involved with the legs too. Do you want to go over anything in particular, or?
In another video.
In another video?
Yeah, in another video, we'll be able to touch base on that.
Okay, so there you have it, guys. If you want to increase your speed, pay attention to your arms. Make sure your shoulders are facing forward. There's no twisting action. Don't try to, think you're working your obliques if you go like this, because that's not what you do when you're sprinting, not doing oblique work. If you want to do oblique work, watch the oblique videos. So that's awesome, man. I'm gonna try this out.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna race Sean. I'm gonna beat him. How do you feel about that?
You lose.
Awesome. Well, guys, if you guys haven't checked out Jack's channel, make sure you go check him out. And thanks, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
no
it.
problem.
As always, guys, more good stuff coming soon. See ya.